So my mic might be bugging entirely, but I've got some good ideas now. Move the mic a bit there again. Not breathing it. Oh my breath. Okay. So we left off with this big thing here. Yeah. You probably watched it anyways. Actually, don't. Do we see the end of this? We see. Okay. So we left off when these guys would start getting pushed back, but the counter-offensive in the south by these guys is spending lots of their forces to get through. And these guys, they did a little bit of that. And these guys in the end up at war with them somehow. I should have rewatched it. It was literally yesterday. I don't know how. I can't remember. Oh yeah, because these guys are close. So they're at war with them too. They continue to push north, being held back a bit because they got more than border patrol on them now. And they work their way up the coast to the capital, ignoring this less viable land here. And after several weeks, the capital is encircled, but it doesn't fall. Lots of siege warfare going on. A little holdout over here. And up here, we see obviously them rushing back, so they managed to do a little bit of manoeuvring, nothing too crazy. A little holdout remains there, but that's to push back on these guys. And now these guys smell blood here, and they end up backstabbing these guys, which probably wasn't smart. There's only them who are at war with them. Their faction aren't drawn in, and they just sweep through entirely, just taking this up. And they make a pact with these guys to say, hey, we'll let go of these from our alliance if we make peace. And they accept these terms. And these guys are so shocked how this happened, they don't trust me anymore. They pull out the alliance. And in the end, these guys just join this coalition. And they'll, well, capitalize on this. They're only at war with these and these. And that's the right colour. Yeah, cool. That looks really brown. It is recording. Okay, so that's the situation of that. In the end, a small blue army is devoted to cleaning this up. The capital still holds, and the purple's pushed to here for all the fronts are solidified. Moving down here, with the focus mainly being in the north, they make us some small gains. Nothing too crazy. And in the end, they just see this. No, they're literally undefended, and they take the opportunity. Okay, little break from this before I get too carried away and make someone massive die. We see these guys want a piece to pie up here, so they up here, and they see the blue guys taking it and say, hey, why can't my computer not work, and why can't we have some? So they do this, and they say, hey, you guys, we'll give you money and guns to help fight these guys off if you want, but we just want some of your land, preferably far away from these guys, as they'll just take it off us. So in the end, they make the deal, and since the Earth's a circle, they want something here to like get them things they heard about this. So in the end, they get a little port here, nothing too major. Or will be a port city. They take that. They're the same colour as the mountains. Hold on, I've got to do a science experiment. No, they're not. They're really similar. So I shall change that. Okay, no one really has that colour, do they? No, pretty undiverse. Cool. And then from there, they set off their voyage with maps and the brown guys that they purchased off them. And in the end, after a bit of they find the valuable lands up here. And since these guys are in perfect isolationism, they have a few bows and arrows. That's the end of that culture in this island. Unfortunately, they work their way down here, find a newer lands that popped up. Only take small lands for now. It's too big to manage these ones. Too much resistance. But for now, they got a pretty big colonial empire going on. And now, since these guys have been you know, they're gone. They take the opportunity. They have a bigger army than them because they're relying solely on them. Sweep up the mainland, integrate it, so the same language and culture and one region, and it makes the borders look cleaner so they don't come after me. And they take their colonies over here, and this one, which I knew would come in handy keeping that. But these blue guys kind of didn't get annexed by them. Saw this, and like, yep, we're having that. That's unfortunate for them. Their empire does grow. They're a pretty prominent force now. Oh, my heart, I feel about to explode. Anyways, these guys, back onto this. They sweep up some of these islands here, take them off their hands, and they just start kind of trying to crack down on these. They have a relatively big army until a bit of a mistake in their part, and they get split in half. 600,000 here, like 400,000 here. And this also gets cleaned up slightly, but they get these islands, but these have got no supply, difficulties, very mountainous, lots of forts, you know. So they take these for now. That's about. I don't like that actually. They take this one, but not these. So this is probably the biggest empire in history we've seen, maybe at this point. Very big. Anyways, and then they devote a force while these guys are moving in. They devote the forces to sweep this up. It's not like have to be the biggest. In the biggest empire this world's ever seen. But they're having a few problems on the front right now. One of which being these guys have absolutely massive amounts of armies. It's an absolute bloodbath up here trying to push through this like wasteland. And these guys, even though they look weak, have like a million men mobilised in total. And these guys are not going to backstab them, and they've got 50, 100,000. It's not too much, but it's another thing I have to focus on. So what they do is they draw men away from this front, which they were guarding just in case, take a gamble. They pull back here, and these guys start advancing cautiously, so I know it's like a scorched earth kind of thing. They don't let them have the capital, they let them rejoin this. And they pull the men back, and on this front as well, but nothing too drastic, they're still split, so they don't want to lose that advantage. So let them draw back a bit. And they get to like here. And then these guys haven't really got the memo, right? So they just they pull their men away from this front, they start walking in. Now they're undersupplied, they have no entrenchment, and it's bad for them, because now these guys are well prepared for this, just push past, and just sweep through. And just chop them up into like little like blobs. So that's not very good for these guys. And now they're panicking, because now they've got this their entire flank is open. And their capital begins to be besieged. And they just walk through the rest of this bit. And same up here. Loads of force get pressed against the mountains on both sides. They're just moving through such like speed. Like no one's ever seen that before. So these guys have pretty much got a full global like thing going on right now. It's not very good. And then in the end, the capital falls. They make a separate peace of the rest of these guys. Their alliance has kind of faded away now. Bit unfortunate. And a separate peace, the terms of which are a new government is put in place down here. That's confusing. Someone's already been that colour. A new government is put in place here, which is pro-blue guy, who's not to get involved in a war. And this territory is handed over to them. Does the government have much claim? This new government have much claim? No. But it's better than still being at war. They're left with that. The historic city is sold back to its owners, because why give it to them when they can get it for loads of money? This is given to them. So yeah, that's let's say still some loyalists remain, which are slowly capitalized off of by these guys. You just start pushing through, and then these guys finish them off after the coming months, weeks, days. Yeah, so they're looking pretty big now, and then that's one of their main enemies done with. So they move their forces back. These guys who have been walking out just get crushed, and then the capital falls. But the resistance still carries on strong, and up here they're not expecting this maneuvers. Essentially what happens, right, while they're focusing down here, some like a few 100,000 citizen militias rose up in the city, and then they were not very effective. They managed to rejoin the capital with the rest of it, which is a big disaster for the blue guys. They had to run up here and sort this out. But unfortunately, they'd already got a big foothold and started walking back. And at this point, support flooding into here, having cut off, because these guys began not favouring them, who were selling these guns, and these guys began to stop bothering them because they already got under control. So then the force up here rejoined, and they pushed back. They managed to cut down here, copying the tactics of the blue guys, and just, yeah, let's say a sweep back down to there. And now the blue guys realise these guys will be a massive problem to deal with. But speaking of massive problems, these guys want to avenge their lost, like, brothers in the field, because they used to be friends and they got backstabbed, and they want to liberate the whole of this area they've claimed to, as well as these islands. So they do that, and when the purple armies is elsewhere, they just rush through. And the brown guys see these as a great ally in the war. And I don't make another part, so I'll finish it. And all the blue guys got to worry about a whole nother front. Then they realise these guys aren't really too much of anything, and guess what? They backstab them again, kick them out the alliance, and begin their invasion of them, which is not very good for the purple guys here, who were not ready for this at all, because who would have seen it coming? And these brown guys more than capitalized for this. Get out of that. And then you just start rushing back through. Yep. And they even meet the blue guys there. And then the pink guys do similar, because they're the ones who started it. And in the end, the splits look like this. They seize these islands off them, and they flee down here. And at this point, support from the overseas colonies and the red and the pink guys has arrived. These guys are now split heavily. Their pink capital is liberated, and their foothold in the east is starting to fade away. As I said, they push back the traditional borders. And this is pretty much and then finally, I know what I was going to say, I was had a stroke. Okay, what's going on there? Thank you. And finally, the last anticipated thing was these guys backstabbing them. And populations here join their cause, as well as down here join their cause, and like the old empire is reborn, and then they just start flooding in, and then people welcome them here because they haven't had a centralized government in ages, apart from the occupied one. And it's all going downhill for the blue guys now, unfortunately, because they just have no support, no manpower. The brown guys in the next few years push them back down here. And then let's just say, I don't know how to do this too well. Pink guys, war. Guy loses support, everything falls apart. So let's draw the peace deal up quickly, because I've got to do other things. Oh, like, it's only 15 minutes, I thought it was like 20. Anyway, so the peace deal is, let's give it to this guy for convenience for now. Peace deal is, these guys get their claim here, which was in fact their claim, so they get to annex it. And they also get to keep these islands down here. Do they get any more colonies, you might be asking, because these are the pretty flourishing colonial power, and an actual power at this point. And the answer to that would be, yes. Let's say they get something like this down here. Because no one's really had claims out for our history. They need a centralised government, so they give it to them. The red guys get their language area border back. That's pretty good for them. Looking pretty strong. Let's say let's give this to the pink guys, because they have claim to it. And then a new government, oh no, the brown guys, sorry. Yes, these brown fellows get this and this, let's just say. And a new government set up here, and all the old like states used to be here. And then that's just kind of brought back, not very centralised as it never was, but oh well. This is released as its own independent state with a religion the green guys had before. This is also a religion the green guys had before. In my lighting they look identical, but it's fine. The blue guys are kept here. Where have we seen that mistake before in this? Probably. I'm pretty sure we have. I'm not being schizophrenic. And then these guys are like this colour, were they not? Or this. Is that too similar? That's way too similar in my lighting. I cannot tell the difference. That's too similar. I swear they already had a colour. Goodness. That's the colour of the purple guys, so that's gonna be confusing. Oh, different purple, lovely. Oh, great, it's already taken. What do you know? Please. Alright, good enough. And they get to be independent here. These guys get their islands back over here. And in terms of land, they didn't get much, did they? Let's say they just cut the border off here. These are still allowed to live because they just keep rising up. No one wants to deal with that. So these brown guys looking pretty big. Oh yes, yes. Alright. Pretty cool stuff. How's that looking? Yes, the pink guys didn't get much. No, they really didn't. And now it's only split between like 3 people. No, it's puppet guns though. Oh, goodness. Let's say the pink guy's got a puppet government here. And they got an occupation zone. Yeah. That's a river line, if you're wondering. I just made that up. It's better than nothing. There we go. That's good enough. Goodbye.